Hey kids, it's me, Chelsea. I just wanted to send you guys a little video, some cool exercises to keep you busy, take a few minutes off your parents so that they can focus on something and give you guys something cool to do and think about, so you don't feel like all the stuff that we've been working on in group is just kind of let go. So before I go into this exercise, I just want to talk to you guys about, you know, the emotions you might be feeling right now or that you're not feeling. And just know that whatever you're feeling in this moment, even if you don't think you're feeling much of anything at all, that's all okay and it's completely normal. So I want you to just feel like anything that's going on right now is not weird or abnormal or wrong. This is something new for everyone. And we're going to get through it all together. So today I wanted to show you a little exercise, and it's going to help us come into contact with a few friends of mine called our advisor, our noticer, and our discoverer. So our advisor is the part of us that, is kind of those thoughts in the back of the bus, the one that's like, you're not even doing this right. You should just give up. Remember, we talked about how there's the bus and then us driving, and sometimes our thoughts are not trying to be in the back seat and they're trying to take over the wheel. You could also call those thoughts our advisor. So our advisor is the one that tries to keep us safe and do the right thing that keeps us away from danger, but sometimes keeps us from doing things that are really important to us, like being there for our family even though we're mad, or meeting a new friend because we're too nervous, or taking on a challenge because it seems too hard. So that's the role of our advisor. And our noticer is the cool part of us. That's what all that present moment exercises are for. Our noticer is the part of us that can step back and notice that our advisor is trying to take the wheel and kind of pay attention to it without reacting yet. So I can notice that I'm feeling hungry or full. Those are kind of our noticer skills. And our discoverer is the part of us that actually acts towards things. So, on those values forms we fill out, I ask you to write down things that you did towards your value. This is the time that you are working with your discoverer. When you actually go and plant a tree, or you were compassionate towards your brother because you were kind of irritated with him, but you hung out with him anyways, or you let your sister choose which board game to play, that's your discoverer helping you out to work towards your value. So today we're going to do an exercise to help us understand that a little better. And I have my little mystery box, which is losing its question mark dot, but you get the point. So there's little question marks all over. And now I want you to use your noticer and try to imagine what's inside. What do you need for your noticer? If the noticer is the part of you that notices, well, it might be our five senses, right? And since we're on a screen, we're missing some of our senses. You guys can't touch the mystery box. You can't taste it. And you certainly can't feel it. But you can see it, right? So what are you noticing about the box? Take a minute to notice the box, what you can use from your noticer and your sight. I'm thinking, if the box is this small, there can't be like a life-size elephant inside. There's probably not a car, like a real car, like a full-size car. What else could not be in it, right? Like a full tree. There's probably not a tree or like a dog in here. So we're noticing from our size, we're able to notice what can't fit and maybe what could. So maybe think for a minute about a few things that could fit inside this box. I'll show you about what size it is. It's kind of like the size of my little old head. So that's a part you can notice. What is another sensation that we can practice noticing with even though we're on a screen? What's that you say? Oh, hearing. Yes. So let's try it. What did that sound like? Let's describe it. Take a few minutes to think for yourself. And if you have a pencil and pen, this would be a great time to write down what you heard. I heard like a clunky thunk thunk, right? So now I'm thinking probably not a feather. There's no feathers in there because feathers don't sound like that. Can't be multiple like little things like M&Ms or something. Because M&Ms wouldn't sound that way, right? So now we know that it's something that's got to fit inside this box, and it's small enough to make that much noise when I shake it, but it's not so small that it's a light thump. It's like a hefty thump happening. Okay, so now we've used our noticer, and now we can think about what our advisor's telling us. What do you think your advisor's telling you right now? You have to have your advisor because that's the one that gives you advice. So, what is your advisor telling you? We've noticed. Now let's see. I want you to think of 3 things that you think could be in the box. I'm going to write some stuff down too. All right. Feel free to pause if you haven't listed 3 things that you think your advisor's telling you is in this box. I finished. So here's what I have. I think maybe a toy train, or hopefully a candy bar. That'd be awesome. Or maybe it's just a rock, right? It could be someone just put a rock inside. That would be kind of disappointing, but it's totally possible that it's just simply a rock. So I want you to look at what you wrote down, and I'll show you the box again. So you can see what size it is. You can hear it. You can almost imagine how it feels in my hand, right? So you can use your noticer and perspective taking to think about how it might feel if you were holding this box. Okay. Now this is where our discover comes into play. And this is a really important part, right? Because we could have our noticer noticing and giving us clues. We could have our advisor telling us what we think it is, but we'll never know unless we know, right? Unless we actually find out. So what do you guys think I should do? How are we going to find out what's inside? Pretty obvious. We're going to have to open it, right? Dun, da, da, da. And inside we have a little toy yellow submarine. I bet nobody guessed that. And if you did, wow, good job. So this was what was inside all along. And we never would have noticed without all 3 of our friends, right? Our noticer to give us clues, our advisor to make recommendations, and our discover to just go for it. If we just had our noticer, would we be able to figure out what was inside? What do you guys think? I think if we were just noticing, we would have stopped there. We wouldn't have put any clues in place. It was thanks to our advisor that we had the clues, but we needed the noticer to give the advisor the clues to put together. And then our discover was that final essential piece that helped us actually solve the problem. So that is the role of our advisor, our noticer, and our discoverer. And lastly, but just as equally important, are our values. So our values tell us why even do any of it at all, right? And I want you to pay real close attention to all of these as we're spending this time with our family right now and all of our routines are kind of, not in place. Think about what your values are. What's important to you? I know a lot of you guys listed family and friends, fun, relaxation, caring, compassion, creativity. Those are beautiful values. And without values, we wouldn't need our discover or noticer or advisor, right? Those wouldn't matter. But thanks to them, we can put our values in place and actually make something out of it. So that's the big exercise I wanted to show you today. And then I just wanted to remind you to use those mindfulness exercises that I gave you guys over the last weeks. This is the time to put those into action too, because you'll probably need them. We've got our 5 senses, right? So if you're feeling overwhelmed, stop and just say, okay, I can see the wall, I can see the floor. I want you to name 2 or 3 things that you can see, and then 2 or 3 things that you can smell, even if it's nothing. Notice that you're smelling nothing. Notice what you're tasting and hearing, and notice what you're feeling. Even if it's just, I'm feeling my socks in my shoes, or I'm feeling my hands on my knees. I feel my glasses on my face. There's also the resting pose. So just lying down and noticing how your body feels. You could set a timer for 5 minutes, listen to some classical music, and draw a story. That would be awesome. Or you could do the run and pause. Remember? Run, 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 and stop. Feel your heart beating so fast. And then take some deep breaths and watch the power of your breaths literally slow your heart down. What a cool tool that you have. So keep those in mind. Don't forget about your values. Try to think of one a day that you can think about and have in the forefront of your minds. And remember the use of your noticer, your advisor. What's inside? I think it could be and your discoverer. Actually just going for it, right? That's how we make things happen. And we wouldn't do any of it if we didn't have values, right? There'd be no point. We would just walk by this box without any concern. So good luck, everyone. Hang in there. We'll all get through this, and I'll see you soon.